we have the most awesome bag ever with a magnetic little door upper, and we have our internal pocket that opens and matches the outer layer. And what's even better is it's got skulls on it.
And if you'd like to see how I made this bag, stay tuned.
So now we have all our pieces. So we have, I'm going to do the inside of mine in black, and it is a black canvas. I chose a canvas because it's a little bit of a heavier weight and it'll just give a little bit more shape to the actual bag. This is going to be my outside. This is going to be my strap. So we need one of these and one of these. I am going to put a zipper pocket in, and I'm also going to put a little magnetic handbag button in at the top, because we're not having a zip along the top, but we would like some sort of closure. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with the outside of the bag. So we're going to put these right sides together. Now, I'm not a fan of pins, but I do like clips. These are called Wonder Clips. You can just get them at, actually you can get them anywhere online. Spotlight do sell them. Just going to put a couple of them, and we're going to be sewing all the way around the edge. So I'm just going to put them all the way around, just to hold that all together, just to make sure it's not going to move. Of course you can pin it. Okay. So we're going to, just going to start on one side. We're going to have a 1/2 inch seam allowance. So we're putting our needle about 1/2 inch away from the edge. I'm on a 2.5 stitch length. I'm going to go just 3 stitches forward, 3 stitches back, and then I'm just going to go straight all the way down, staying 1/2 inch from the edge, removing my clips as I go so I don't sew over them. And then when I get to the corner, I'm going to be 1/2 inch away from the bottom, and I'm going to leave my needle down. I'm going to pick my foot up, spin around, and then continue across the bottom. And then stop 1/2 inch away, needle down, lift foot up, and all the way down the other side. Now when you get to the end, you want to lock those stitches in, so we go 3 stitches back, forward, and cut it off. So now we have a line down the side. So take a little piece of fabric, right sides down, and measure and cut it 12 inches by 8 inches. And then I want to measure down 6.5 inches and at 7 inches, and I'm going to rule a line where both of those are. This is going to be where our zipper goes. I'm also going to mark 1 inch from the edge and 1 inch from the edge. Now we know that is where the zipper placement will be. I want my zipper pocket to start at about 2 inches down. So at 1.5 inches. So first of all, I'm going to mark the center, and then I'm going to measure 1.5 inches down. That's the center, and now I want to place the line that I've ironed. So not the line where the zip is going to go, your halfway point that's just above it. I want that center to match up with that one. Okay, now it's in there. What we need to do is we need to sew along these lines here. So now we've got our placement. And I'm on a 2.5 stitch length again, and I'm going to start on, it doesn't matter where you start really, but I'm going to start on one of the edges, and I'm going to do 3 stitches back, and then when I get to the corner I'm going to leave my needle down and spin around, and then I'm going to just slowly go all the way across. Try to stay straight on that line. And then down the other side. And back to lock it off again. Now trim off all your little bits. Okay. Now you might be able to see that's where we have stitched the line for our zipper. Now what we want to do is we want to fold this in half, and very carefully we want to cut in the center of that. So we're just making a hole that I can put my scissors in, because I've got to cut down almost to the end. I'm just leaving a small space, and then I'm doing a little triangle at the end into the corners. I'm going to flip it over, flip it around, and I'm going to go back the same way. Do the same thing. So I'm just going to the edge, and I'm making a little triangle in the corner. Now the sneaky part, what we're going to do is we're going to push this through the hole. So here's our pocket on the other side. Now you don't have to, but you can iron that down. I like to iron it down so it's all flattened out, but you'll see what we're left with is, once it's all ironed, we'll be left with a nice hole. So now what I do have is, I'm going to open this out. So I've got on the back, I've got my pocket, and this way I've got the hole for the zipper. Now you got to figure out, I'm going to have this, so my zipper opens and closes this way. It doesn't matter which way, if you have a preference, but we're just going to take all of this and we're going to put the zipper down, and we're going to lay it over the top until you find a nice center. And then you're going to stitch all the way around and your zipper pocket will be in. So if you've ironed properly, you shouldn't see any of the lining fabric from the outside. Again, I'm using a 2.5 stitch length. Just making sure those ends and everything is flat underneath. You've got to make sure that your pocket is out the back because you don't want to be stitching over it by accident. And now we're going to do a couple of stitches forward and back to lock it in. Now I'm not using a zipper foot, but what I am doing is I'm placing the side of my foot up against the zip, and then that'll make sure that my stitching is straight all the way around. And just take it nice and easy. There's no need to rush. And when you get to the end, you keep your foot down, you keep your needle down, pick your foot up, turn around, come across. I always go back and forward at the sides. I don't know why, I just do, it's a bad habit. Back and forward's not a bad habit. And again, lining your foot up against the zip, and we're going to go all the way down. Now, when we get to there, my zipper's going to be in the way, so I'm leaving my needle down. I'm pushing my foot up. And can continue on my way. And when I get to the end, a couple of back stitches to lock it in. I'm going to go around the corner just a little bit, 2 stitches. And we're done. So I'm going to lift my... Now, what we have is, that's the back and that's the front. So you can see my zipper has worked. Now what I want to do is I want to go and I'm going to fold this top piece down because, and I'm going to match the edges because now I'm going to sew down the side, but you must be careful because you don't want to get any of that. So you've got to fold all of that under because we only want to sew the pocket. We don't want to sew that. So this will be about, let me see, it's about 1/2 inch seam allowance again. No, it's not, it's 1/4. We're going still with our and down to the corner. Again, fold this under because we don't want to be getting anything that we shouldn't be. Now we are going to put in our little magnet clips and we're going to find the center of our piece by folding it in half. There's our line, and I'm going to measure down 1.5 inches. And that's where it's going to go. So I'm going to take my knife and I'm going to make 2 little cuts. Push that in. I'm going to take the back, put it on, and then squish them down. There we go, it's in. Now we're going to do the same on the other side. We're going to fold it over, find the center, measure 1.5 inches down, and then we're going to take our knife and we're going to make 2 little holes. You be careful that you don't want to push it all the way through and make a big, I don't want to tear it. Back on, down the sides. There we go. See? Beautiful. All right. Now what we need to do is I'm going to close my magnet and I'm going to match everything up, and then I'm going to put my wonder clips on. You can use as many or as little as you like, or not at all, whatever. Now we're going to go over to the sewing machine and we are going to sew all the way around. Now we're doing our side, so we're this time a couple of stitches forward and back, and off we go. Remember, when you get to the corner, you leave your needle down, foot up, spin it around, and off we go. Get to the corner, oop, one stitch. Now we want to give this wonderful bag some shape. And we're going to go down to the side and we're going to flatten out a corner. And we're going to measure, so it is where the point is 3 inches. Put a clip on that there. Just gives the bag a nice shape. And then this side, same thing, flatten it down. Look for 3 inches. Put it down. Then we'll do the same on our lining. Find our point of 3 inches. So now we're just going to sew across all of those lines. This time we're not doing any seam allowance as such, we're just going to sew straight over the lines that we made. We're going to go 3 stitches back, make sure everything's flat all the way across, and 3 stitches at the end. Flip it over, we'll do the same. Take our front piece, going to do the same again. So now we've done that, we've got a line, so we're just going to cut off, leaving 1/2 inch. Don't cut right on the line, so we're going to cut at 1/2 inch. Now we'll just do a little bit of a tidy up if you've got any threads hanging about. Now, I have some fabric scraps here, and we need to make the little tabs for our D-rings. So let's measure. Let's do 3 inches. And we want each of them to be 1, 2, so let's do 3 by 3. 3 inches by 3 inches. So we're doing 3-inch squares. And we're going to make 2 of them. So I'm just going to fold that over and I'm going to cut that out. Now I'm doing these the same as my lining, only because my lining is canvas. You could just do it in your outside fabric, you can do it on your inside fabric, it doesn't matter. But what we're going to do now is find the right side of our fabric and put it face down. I'm going to get some double-sided tape, put it down the center. And then I'm going to fold in my edges. And you'll see that that makes a lovely tab. So again, down the center. And now I'm just going to stitch down each side. Now, because this is something on the outside, I'm going to increase my stitch to 4, just because it's a more decorative stitch. And I'm going to place my foot right on the edge, and I'm going to straight stitch down. And back the other way. Now I've just chain stitched them together just so it doesn't really waste as much thread. I'm going to take my D-rings and push that through, fold it in half with the side, the messy side down, so where we've folded over, because this side is now going to have the nice stitching. And then I am going to just do a line straight across here to hold that little D-ring in the spot, so it doesn't move around, because we don't want it to move around. And again, the same with the other one. Off these. I'm going to get a just going to get a cigarette lighter and get rid of any of those threads that are still hanging around to make it look nice and neat. This doesn't burn the fabric. I mean, be careful what sort of fabric you do it on, but this it won't burn. So now I have 2 nice little tabs. Now I'm going to get my outside piece, which now looks pretty funky with our cool base. And I'm going to go to the edge, and I'm going to take these little pieces that we've sewn and I'm going to put it face down, and I'm going to line it up with the edge like that, and I'm just going to put a clip on top, and the other side, line it up and put a clip. Now, the next part, make sure your internal pocket is open, because that's how we're going to turn our bag out later. Now we're going to turn this side in. So this is our outside. I'm going to turn it in the right way. And I'm going to put it inside the lining. Then I'm going to line up my edges. Just going to trim that line up my edges, making sure that tab is in the center. So the tab is in the center facing downways. And same thing on the other side, making sure it's in the center. Now we're just going to go around, flatten it all out, and I'm just going to go around and line up all the pieces so we can sew it together. I'll put one in the center of each side first. It's just going to help me line everything up. And I'm just going to ease everything around. Okay, so now this time what we're going to do is we're going to be sewing this whole thing closed. So we've got our pocket open and we're going to sew all the way around. You can start anywhere, but I like to start on the edges. And I'm going to go a 1/4 seam allowance, and I'm going to make sure my stitch length is back at 2.5. And when you get back to where you started, we're going to do a couple of stitches back and forward to lock it in. Okay. Now, I think we're ready to turn our bag in. So I'm going to reach inside my pocket, and there's no good or bad way to do this. You just got to pull the whole bag through. Looking good. I'm just going to put my hand inside that hole and I'm just going to make sure everything's nice and straight. This is coming out really, really nicely. So the next thing I want to do is I want to I'm just going over and pressing down all the edges with my fingers. Now you can press this if you like. But now what we need to do is we need to sew the top edge. So now that it's all folded, now you can iron it if you like. I think I might give mine an iron. Oh my God, I love it. I absolutely love it. Okay, so now we've got a top stitch all the way around the edge here. So I'm going to put my machine back to a 4 and I'm going to start just here. But look how good that looks. Now I'm carefully going to back stitch to lock it in. Careful, gets a little bit bulky going over the top of this. Over the top of the edge there, where the bag strap is. If you have given it a press, it should make it just a little bit easier. You just need to take this slowly. It's one of the last steps, so you don't want to stuff it up now. And when we get to the end, a couple of stitches back to lock it in. I'm going to cut off this. Well, the canvas makes this look really nice. To make sure these threads there hanging around. I should have cut before. Okay. Oh, this looks fantastic. Now what we do is we go and we reach inside and we pull out our pocket. And then just with our fingers, we're just going to press in the edge like that. And we're just going to sew straight across there to close up the bottom of that pocket. Push back in. And now inside I have a zipper pocket and I have my magnet. Oh my god, it's awesome. Okay, now our last step is to do our strap. What I've got here is I am using, where's the other one going? Okay, I've got some little hardware. Now you could just put this on like that if you don't want it adjustable or anything, but we've gone this far, so we might as well keep going. So here is my lining piece. I'm doing black with a little piece of the other fabric. So I've ironed on my interfacing already and I've ruled a line down the center. I'm going to take some double-sided tape and stick it exactly down the center all the way. And I'm going to peel this off. Oh, it doesn't want to come off. Okay. And then I'm going to fold the edges into to that line. Oh. Let's hold it there. Oh, it's starting to come apart. Okay, so let's just do that and we'll stick a couple of clips on as we go. If your interfacing hasn't come off, this would be a lot easier. Then we're going to turn it around and we're going to do the same on the other side. Now don't worry about that too much because this piece is going to be stitched over the top like that, so you won't see that middle bit. So let's just get this done. Now if you've got just fabric, just a cotton fabric, put the interfacing in. If you've got a tougher fabric like a vinyl or a canvas like what I've got, it's not necessary, but I went flat. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to sew down both sides. Okay, I'm just going to replace my bobbin because I don't want to get halfway down this strap and then have to stop and start. So any top stitching that you're doing, it's always a good idea to check that you have enough bobbin left. Through. Okay. Now again, this is a top stitch for a fancy. So I'm going to stay on my 4. And I'm going to stitch right on the edge. And the other side. Again, right on the edge. Okay, so that's one side and that's the other. Looks pretty good. We're going to get the other piece of fabric. We've got our other piece of fabric and now we are going to stick it down there. So I will get, again, double-sided tape right down the center. Now I made a join in mine, so I'm just going to make sure that my join is in the middle of the strap. So peel off, and at the beginning we're just going to stick that on, keeping it in the center, and this time it'll work. So I cut mine a bit too long. Alright, so now we're just going to, and now we're going to sew each side of that fabric that we just put on. Okay, don't be fooled by the tape. Make sure that it is staying in the center as you're sewing. And you want to go down both sides all the way. And it can still move around even though you've got double-sided tape. It's more just to give you a guide, help you out a little. So now we've got our strap. See how nice it looks? And the other side, it's pretty fancy. Okay, I'm going to attach my strap so it's that side up and that'll be on the inside. So I want to take my tri-glide and I am going to go up and down, and then I'm just going to stitch that closed. We're going to go over it a couple of times to make sure it really sticks there. And then I'm going to trim the edges, cut away any of these and again I'm just going to get rid of any of those little all right. Let's see. That's better. Okay, so now, so we've got our end on there. So now we're going to, so with that side up, we're going to get one of these and we're going to put it down. And we're going to pull that all the way along, fold the strap over, come off all this. Get rid of these edges. Obviously be careful if you're doing this at home. Don't ring me and say I said, oh, you have to do it this way. No, I don't. You can do it a normal way by just cutting off the edges with a pair of scissors like a normal human being. I like to make sure it's all nice and tidy. Especially if this is going to somebody as a gift. Now our strap is done. And that means stick it onto our bag. One side there, and the other one there. And oh my God! We have the most awesome, oh, can you see it? Let's have a look. We have the most awesome bag ever with a magnetic little door upper, and we have our internal pocket that opens and matches the outer layer. And what's even better is it's got skulls on it. And there you have it. One bag made, which is a pretty handy handbag. It'll fit a lot in it. And you know what? It hasn't taken us that long. I love it. This is going to be my new everyday handbag. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.
Make sure you subscribe to my channel and like this page and hit the little bell so you'll be notified every time a new video is released.